Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this. This is your KocoSports WWE Royal Rumble 2019 review show. I'm your host, LK, joined by Dion from SOS Wrestle Talk. Dion, I can't believe I'm about to say this. Welcome to a WWE review show.
Oh my God, dude. You don't know how long it's been since I've actually reviewed an actual WWE show. It's probably been about at least 4 years, man.
Right, I know we're both not having the most amount of time. So if you're listening live, please put in the live comments. And if I don't have time getting to your questions, I'll screenshot them if there's any good ones. I'll make a separate video. Apologies this was so late. I was waiting for Dave to try and finally get through the show, but the fucking guy didn't get through it. He did not get through the show. He could not physically sit there and get through the show. He tried, bless his fucking cotton socks, but he couldn't get through it. But he'll give his thoughts on or something maybe down the line when he's if he ever finishes watching it. It may be Royal Rumble 2020 by the time he finishes watching it. But yeah, not the most complimentary of thoughts. I had a quick call with him earlier this morning. But Dylan, we always do win, loss, or tie. As you guys know, we always do. Well, we don't always. We've been a bit slacking. Well, when I say we, it's been me. I've been slack. I've been absolutely mega busy for some reason. It's all of a sudden it happens. I go through these phase runs. It's so quiet, and then all of a sudden it's so fucking busy. But we normally do a show called Daily Presser on the channel. Everyone go check it out. We review Japanese pro wrestling. Dion, we do win, loss, tie. Royal Rumble 2019. It's in the books. You've had a day to digest it. Win, loss, tie. What are you going with, brother?
Man, in-ring stuff, dude, I would probably have to give it a win. But as far as the whole overall experience, production, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to have to give it a tie, man, because this right here, this is a problem that I think a lot of pro wrestling shows have, and I think New Japan, which is one of the promotions we watch frequently, I think are getting better at this. And we talked about this on the review of Wrestle Kingdom. Wrestle Kingdom 13 pretty much ended an hour earlier than we thought it was going to end this year. Okay, like a full hour. Like, wow, it's ended like a full hour earlier. Shit, it was still dark outside when Wrestle Kingdom ended this year. And for anybody who watched the pre-show along with the finishing of the ending of this show, dude, this was 5 hours for a show. I'm sorry, it's too long. I just gotta say it's too long. If you're gonna run shows for 5 hours, you have to strongly consider moving maybe takeovers to Friday and maybe doing a show like this on a Saturday, because if you have people who are paying for this stuff and who want to watch this stuff, you're doing them a disservice, because I was watching this with a group of my friends who were interested in the show. And by the time this show was pretty much getting through like the midway point, and we're seeing what time it is, we're like, dude, we have to go to work in the morning. And we still got probably like a 15, 20-minute drive. So it's not like, it's like, this is all like, oh, this is great. I mean, it's good, but it's like, you have to consider your paying customers. You have people going to work, people going to school. So it was a tie for me. Okay.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think the wrestling was great. I wouldn't take anything away from the wrestlers. They all busted their ass. Some of the booking decisions, as you'd expect to hear on every single Royal Rumble review, were very questionable. But did you catch everything? I watched. Didn't watch the opening match on the pre-show, but I did watch the other two matches on the pre-show and everything from the main card. So is there anything you missed?
The only thing I did not see, I didn't see any of the pre-show, but only thing I didn't see main card was the Shane McMahon and Miz tag team title match. That's the only thing I didn't see.
Okay, cool. So we'll just run through the pre-show real quick. Bobby Roode, Chad Gable defeated Razor and Scott Dawson. I don't know why that isn't the revival. Okay. I don't. That's really mind-numbing. Whether this Wikipedia is actually correct here. Oh dear, sounds great. And then Nakamura defeated Rusev to win the US Championship. They did the spot where Lana injured her ankle, which was portrayed later on. So I thought that was a good bit of storytelling there from their part. They can do it right sometimes. So Nakamura's the champion. Didn't Nakamura, if I remember, usually I take notes when we do our Japanese wrestling, I always take notes. But I had, like yourself, I had some mates around, so I thought it'd be a bit weird if I'm sat there with my laptop in my lap. Everyone's having an alcoholic beverage, and there's me with fucking orange juice, a cup of tea, and my laptop. So I was like, no, I'm gonna have alcoholic beverages. Who eliminated Nakamura in the Rumble? Someone eliminated Nakamura in the Rumble. I think that Wikipedia might have it here.
It was
Mustafa Ali. That's it, dude. That's because Mustafa Ali, yeah, because I'm presuming now the program going forward is going to be Mustafa Ali against Nakamura for the US title. So I'm cool with that. Seth Rollins Jr. Yeah, I think Mustafa Ali's great. Obviously, you didn't catch the match. The match itself was okay. Nothing really to go back and watch, but if you want to keep up with everything, Nakamura is the new US champion again, and will presumably doing a feud with Mustafa Ali, aka, as you said, Seth Rollins Jr. And then in the main event of the pre-show, Buddy Murphy defeated Akira Tozawa, Hideo Itami, and Kalisto in a pretty damn entertaining match for the 205 Live brand for the to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. This was great, and the guys involved, was this ever really going to be bad? And I hope that this was kind of like an alarm clock for people to start actually watching 205, because I thought it wasn't a great match. It was just a good match, well worked. Everyone got their shit in, got given enough time. Well, they should do 3 matches in 2 hours. Should get enough time. Went 12 minutes. I thought it was good.
This match right here, and I gotta feel bad for our compatriot, our mate, our brother Patrick. I'm sorry, Kenta had to take the pinfall in this match. I was just like, oh man. I was like, okay. I was just like, poor Kenta.
Poor Patrick. Fuck Kenta. Poor Patrick. He had to sit there. Oh, that must have been horrible. Because no. I remember actually he went for a phase where he watched Kenta's matches on 205. If I remember him saying right. He watched some matches on 205. So this isn't his first time seeing Kenta, so at least then he didn't get that heartbreak. But, I mean, it must have been good to see him in front of, 40,000, what was it, 50,000? 45,
oh, 50,000. That was one thing I will say about this Royal Rumble. This is pretty much like a stadium Wrestlemania type atmosphere. I will give them that.
Yeah, it felt like a big deal, and I liked the little ramp with the LED board gimmicks, so that there was crowd behind. It felt really old school. I liked it because I always when I first turned on the show, do you remember Mania 19? Obviously, that was in the Seiko Fieldhouse, and this is a different building. I thought it was the same venue when I saw it, but it's not, because one's in Phoenix and one's in Seattle. But it looked like the same building, so props to them.
And if we ever have a show and we go back to this and we like rank our favorites, I'll go ahead and tell you now. WrestleMania 19 ranks very high for me. So
yeah, mine goes 17, 19. Yeah, they're my top 2.
That's a very good shout right there. But yeah, that's a good point, because it was very Safeco Field-esque, the entrance ramp. So I like that the way they set that up. And yeah, I saw the end of the Cruiserweight title match. I know these guys were pretty much going to put on a decent match here, because we have 4 talented guys like that. I mean, only way they don't put on a good match is if something goes wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the only way that was going to be bad is if anything fucked up. On to the main show. We had the opening match of the night. Slick video package as always. No pyro, which is upsetting. We had Asuka defeating Becky Lynch to retain the SmackDown Women's title belt in 17 minutes. Lots of people were online, and I read this while I was obviously on my phone having a quick look at what people were putting. Some people were upset Becky Lynch lost here because it makes her Royal Rumble victory look like a fluke, which I can understand. So maybe they should have swapped it and had Charlotte in this spot against Asuka, and then did Becky Lynch just winning the Rumble outright. But they wanted to surprise people. They wanted to swerve people. So I'll I understand that.
Yeah. But I was gonna say about this. I don't mind that she lost. My thing is the way she lost. It's like. I do like the fact that Asuka transitioned to that cattle mutilation, something we haven't seen from her. That was a great transition. But it's the fact that if you're portraying this person, if this person is pretty much the guy right now, if this is the man, you can't have the man tapping out. Like, I don't really like that. Like, I don't mind her losing, because, I mean, you can still, in losses, you can still look very, very strong. Like, you could have had Asuka, like, surprise her, roll her up or something. Or, hell, you could even have had a disqualification happen to keep both of them protected. But I don't really like her tapping out. That's just my only issue. I don't have a problem with Becky losing. It's the tapping out thing. Because if you're the man, you shouldn't really be. That was like Austin back in the day. You're not going to have Austin tap out. Like,
It was like the story they were trying to tell, and the story they were trying to portray was that Asuka won, and with Becky sitting on the apron. To me, anyway, this is how I perceived it, was that they were playing Becky's sympathy. Like, oh, Becky, unlucky, when, imagine, like you said, you mentioned Steve Austin, imagine back in the day, Steve Austin ever wanting sympathy. You would never want, because that's not his character. He's the man, she's the man, she's the guy, the top dog. She should be pissed off she lost.
Exactly. She's past that sympathy point with her character, like you're saying.
Like, dude, who's one of they've got the list of people on the side. Give me an interviewer. Charlie Caruso, there we go. So we'd have Charlie Caruso on the ramp go, how do you feel about it? Have a Decker. Just have her literally punch her in the face. The crowd would pop. The crowd would pop.
Yep.
Fucking mad for that. Do that. Like, absolutely do that. Speaking of that, Charlie Caruso on an NXT TakeOver, right? was wearing a top. It was literally just like this, just a strap, and then just a normal top. Like you could pretty much see, what's going on there. At the Royal Rumble, she was wearing completely covered up dress, like from head to toe, and you couldn't see a single bit of flesh minus her face. It just made me fucking laugh. I have no idea what.
Yeah, they're like, hey,
cover up, pal.
Yeah.
Wrestling fans don't want to see that. Yeah, but I thought the match was really good. Recommend people to go out of the way to watch it.
Absolutely.
Was a fun solid match between two good wrestlers, so it wasn't ever going to be bad. Just like we talked about, I don't think it was great getting sympathy on Lynch, but what's done is done.
Especially if, honestly, because with my idea, what I think they should have done, I pretty much think what you were saying should have happened. She should have decked Charlie Caruso. She pretty much should have probably laid Asuka out or some shit off of disqualification. But because I got a situation I think they should have did it. We're going to talk about later with the main event that should have played out a little differently. But we'll
if you did deck Asuka, you could do the story that. Obviously, again, Raw happened last night. I won't give any spoilers away because, well, I don't know what fucking happened, and I don't know what happened. And I may watch the show later tonight. No promises. I may watch it. I may watch SmackDown Live tonight. No, I won't. No, I won't. That will not be happening. If I watch anything, New Japan tonight. Actually, there was a New Japan show this morning. Was it any good?
Yep, there was one yesterday morning, and there was one this morning as well. Kushida's last match, man.
Dude. Review that tonight. You up for reviewing that one tonight?
No, come on.
Nice one. We'll get P and J involved. Yeah. Oh, where was I? I went off on one, and I lost where I was.
Oh, you're talking about Asuka getting decked.
Yeah, Asuka getting. You get Asuka getting decked. You could do a story where, again, everyone knows Becky Lynch is going to want to go after Ronda Rousey because of the history of the story there. You could have Asuka say, "Hey, look, Ronda, I want you. I don't care if you want her. I want you." And then at the next pay-per-view, you could do Asuka versus Becky. And then that way you're keeping Becky relevant, have Ronda Rousey cost her that, and then there's fucking hatred. There's just rage in there, brawling all around the building, and then boom. That should be the main event, by the way, Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. From what I've seen so far, unless they do Seth Rollins versus Daniel Bryan in a 60-minute Iron Man match, I want to see Becky Lynch against fucking Ronda Rousey main event.
I'm thinking they're going to go Finn Balor versus Daniel Bryan, but that's...
Oh, dude, that's a good shout. Now, I'm interested. Again, I haven't watched Raw, so I don't know what's going on with the Chamber pay-per-view. Obviously, are they going to do? Are they going to do the title matches in the Chamber? Or do you reckon they're going to do the winner earns a number one contenders match at WrestleMania? So, for example, obviously, say Seth Rollins picks Brock, and then they'll do a SmackDown Chamber match where the winner faces Daniel Bryan at Mania. Are they going to do that? Or are they going to do just straight WWE title match, Universal title? I mean, I'm presuming they're not going to do a Universal title match inside the Chamber because of Brock.
They probably won't. They'll have to have something for Seth. They're going to have something for Seth Rollins to do in the meantime, because that's always weird with guys who win the Royal Rumble. It's always been the last couple of years, that little time in between Mania, they really don't start their feud till after that, like pay-per-view, whether it be Elimination Chamber or whatever you may have at No Way Out. They don't normally start their feud until after that show, so they always kind of have like a layover feud until then. I think they did a couple years back with Batista and like Alberto Del Rio. They're known for doing stuff like that. It's kind of like a holdover feud until that main event match. So look for something for Seth Rollins to happen. I don't know who will have a little short feud with, but they'll have to have something to occupy him while Brock Lesnar is not there.
As long as they don't do Dean Ambrose again, I'm fine.
Yeah.
That's probably what they'll do. I bet my bottom dollar they probably will. Then we had Miz and Shane defeating The Bar to become the SmackDown Tag Team Champions in 13 minutes. This wasn't bad. It was WWE style, so you know what you were getting coming in. I mean, at least it's good for Cesaro and Sheamus being involved in a quite an important program with the McMahon's involved, so that's good for them. And my only hope now is that they can kind of maybe split off into a singles run. I think Cesaro and Sheamus are both extremely talented. I'm not saying that them being a tag team is a joke, because it's not. They're a good tag team, but they've been together for so long. It's like, come on now. We've seen every match. We've seen The Bar against the New Day 10,000 times. We've seen The Bar against the Usos even more times than that. It's like, we've done it all. Let's break them up, fucking establish them, build them up properly. But this is cool. Are we really leading to a Miz versus Shane McMahon match at WrestleMania? Is that what we're going with here?
who knows with these guys, man? I mean, they could end up in a TLC match for the tag team belts for all we know with these guys. But I
But, yeah,
mean,
but on a serious note, are we going to get like Miz and Shane against the Usos or against the New Day? Like, I'm really interested to see what they do with this Miz and Shane thing. And I know that's probably not what you expected to hear when you clicked on the video, but are they just going to do Miz and Shane at Mania, or is this going to be a long term? Or how dare I? I'm curious. Curiosity killed the cat, and you'll be fucking killing me because I have no idea what they're going to do. Like, logically, you'll go, okay, they're going to do Miz and Shane at Mania, but really, is that a draw for WrestleMania? In all due respect to Miz, I love the Miz thing. He's absolutely incredibly good at what he does, but I don't know. What's your thoughts on what they're going to do at Mania with these two?
man, that's Miz and Shane at Mania. Like, it would be, I guess they could play it if they drop the belts before then. It's like one of them saying like, hey, you cost us the belt. I could definitely see Shane doing this considering he's gonna quote unquote best in the world right now. So I think that'd be more interesting than them having a multi-man tag team title match. That'll be more interesting for those two. I think that'd be a better shout, Shane versus the Miz, as opposed to them defending the belts in a ladder match, versus New Day, Usos, whatever other team. So,
Geez, now you said that, I reckon they're gonna do Bart, Usos, New Day, Miz, and Shane in a fucking disgrace of a TLC or a ladder match. There's gonna be a fucking crazy mess. That's actually a possibility. Or they're gonna do Miz versus Shane, and those poor tag teams.
Who the tag team champions are, so I don't even know.
I don't know. I'm not. This is the god honest truth. I don't know. Is there a list of champions on the page? No, there's no list of champions. So I honestly don't know. I can't tell you. Come to KocoSports, the most informative WWE reviews on the planet, where we don't know the tag champs.
I tell people, man, I only watch Japanese wrestling now. It's just kind of like,
dude, I haven't watched WWE. Like, I watched Takeover. I haven't watched main roster programming in about 3 or 4 weeks. And obviously watching other stuff as well, I kind of lose track of what's going on. Because when there's so many belts, it's a bit difficult. Because you've got the NXT belts, you've got the NXT UK belts, you've got the 205 belt, you've got the SmackDown belts, the Raw belts. It's fucked me sideways.
Women's tag team belts coming soon. So.
Oh yeah, they're doing that as well, aren't they? And then we had Ronda Rousey defeating Sasha Banks for to retain her women's belt. This was great. I wasn't expecting this to be as good as what it was. This was great. This is just a testament to how great of a wrestler Sasha Banks is and how improved Ronda Rousey is. Just brilliant. I wasn't expecting much, and the pace was non-stop. The submissions, everything about this was really good. And I actually recommend everyone to go out their way and check this out. The women on this show, the 2 singles women matches were fucking phenomenal. Really great stuff. What was your thoughts on Rousey and Banks?
Yeah, no disagreement from me. This was a really good match from both ladies. Sasha Banks, man, and one of these days she's gonna end up fucking killing herself, man. Like I'm just like, good God, the bumps she takes in there is just like ridiculous. The move that Ronda Rousey used to put her away, I know it's like an inverted Death Valley driver, but this me looking as I know I have my fan hat on, but I of course, put my analytical hat on as well. But I'll ask you, speaking from somebody who is training to wrestle, me personally, Ronda Rousey's finisher looks like it hurts her more than it hurts her opponent, because the way she does it is just so awkward. Like, it's just like, dude, you're gonna jack your neck up one of these days doing some shit like that. That's just my personal. It just looks really awkward. I'm like, you look like you hurt yourself more than you hurt them, but I don't know.
But it looks like it will be really safe for the person she's giving it to, because she has her the whole way down. She literally places and then just kind of rolls on her feet. So the way when I see her, I'm like, all right, she's not doing anything too risque. She's just doing something where she knows she isn't going to hurt the wrestler. So I think it's fine.
And Sasha did some great arm selling here during the match and post-match too. I was like, damn, Sasha, you never really know with her, because it's like, damn.
Like, I fucking love the spot when she had the fucking crossface locked in and she's stamping on Rousey's fucking hands and Rousey's screaming in pain. I thought that was some fucking really good storytelling. I thought they really, really did a good job of, they kind of put over how important this match is and how important a victory is. So I really, really rated it. I really did. I thought it was really, really
good. The post-match was pretty interesting too, because I thought they were going to come back for a Sasha, maybe, attack on Ronda, but she just came back into the 4, horsewoman thing in her face and then kind of walked off.
Yeah, and that's interesting because they did that, but assumably, please don't say we're going to get a 4-on-4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen, because those NXT girls and the 4 horsewomen, those NXT girls are green. You know, they're green on them. They're as green as I am. Like, in all due respect, like they can go out there, they can kind of bump. So it's like I kind of don't want that at WrestleMania. Save that for Survivor Series when they're both proper built. But if that's like a kind of a tease for Survivor Series and they already have that planned, fair play. But apart from that, I don't get why she did the 4. I'm very curious to know why she did that 4 horsewomen thing.
I was kind of wondering that myself. But yeah, this was a solid match, man. I like this match a lot.
And then we had the Royal Rumble for the women's opportunity to face the women's champion at WrestleMania 35. Becky Lynch won this, defeating Charlotte Flair. I've got the list of 30 women. I'm not going to fucking break down every single one and who they got eliminated by and how long they lasted. That's not what we're going to do here. Don't have enough time for that. But a quick few mentions as I quickly look. Lacey Evans lasted 30 minutes in her first ever Rumble, in her first ever WWE match. She did great. I thought she looked great. I like her character, the kind of the female, you know, I'm the first lady. I like that. Natalia lasted 56 minutes, which was nearly as long as the men's Rumble. So fair play to Natalia. Mandy Rose lasted quite long as well. Nikki Cross came out. She debuted. That was okay. Xia Li from NXT was there. Kairi Sane from NXT. Candice LeRae. And
Io Shirai.
Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley from NXT UK. The star of this one for me anyway, without a shadow of a doubt, was Casey Catanzaro.
Absolutely.
Dude, what a fucking star she's going to be. She looks like she's absolutely tiny. She's what, 4 foot something? She can't maybe 5'1", 5'2".
I called her AJ Lee when she came out.
Yeah, dude. She and the thing is she's going to be such a great babyface because the way she kind of her mannerisms, she's kind of like adorable. Like she's like, remember Bayley in NXT? Just wanted to give her a hug. She kind of reminded me of that. And she just came out, and I thought she did fucking absolutely brilliantly. She has 10 minutes in that spot where she landed. She basically took a bump off the apron, and her feet were up in the air. And then she kind of bunny hopped to the fucking barricade, used that, and then doing a handstand, used fucking the upper body strength was insane to fucking bounce all the way to the fucking LED board, put her legs in between the LED board, lift herself up, and slide back in. That's him. Kofi's done some great stuff. Kofi's done some great stuff, but in my opinion, that is the best. Yeah, take a seat, Kofi, my friend. You know, it's only taken you 10 years, and finally, you know, someone's topped you. Your 10 years' work combined wasn't as great as that was.
Hell, Naomi had a decent spot too. Shit, where she evaded elimination.
I didn't see that one. If that was because there was a point where from I think it was number 18 to number 21, I went to the toilet. And that's not me saying, "Oh, it's a women's match. I'm going to the toilet." Dude, this show at this point was 3 hours deep. Yeah, 3 hours deep.
It was fucking long. And it was, she did like she walked the barricade, like it was pretty much a good distance on the barricade and jumped from the barricade to the ring steps.
Oh, really? That's quite a distance.
Yeah. So that was good. But then she got instantly eliminated by Mandy Rose. So it was just like,
okay, but they're putting over Mandy Rose.
No, they are. They really are putting Mandy Rose over.
I like Corey Graves on commentary as well. When he's basically being like what King used to be, where he used to like not be a perv, but kind of like be obsessed with the women. Corey Graves is doing that with Mandy Rose, and it's putting Mandy Rose over huge.
Yeah.
And she lasted the third longest in the match, or fourth longest in the match. Ember Moon had a good showing. She was in there for over 50 minutes as well. Charlotte Flair was in there for 50. What else we hear? We had Alexa Bliss make her return. Yep. She had a return, which was great. And then
Kota Ibushi's move.
Stealing Kota Ibushi's move. And then Lana came out number 28. Obviously, as we said at the top of the show, Lana's ankle got hurt during the US title match, so she was hopping. I'm not going to dissect the setting because I'll go off on a 20-minute rant. Becky Lynch just comes out, basically tells Finlay, look, you know, chuck me in. Finlay all of a sudden is Vince McMahon. I have no idea, and this hurts my brain. I have no idea why Finlay, a guy who hasn't been on WWE programming television for about 10 years, has the authority power to tell Becky Lynch that she's now eligible to go in the fucking Rumble match. Someone please out there tell me. Like, that made absolutely no sense to me. That
when she was pleading her case, when she was pleading her case, okay, I was like, I said to my buddies, I was like, you know what Finlay said to her, right? He was like, he was like, hey, my son David Finlay wrestles in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that's all he said. That's all he was like, hey, my son David Finlay's on the roster in New Japan.
and also like the fact that like if this was a shoot, where was Rusev? Why didn't Rusev come out and help his wife to the back? Why couldn't he pick her up? And then you'll be like, oh shit, is she actually all right? You know, he's having a husband, you know, take her to the back. It makes Rusev, who's Rusev Day, babyface, it gives him a good guy look.
It does. It really does.
Oh, just unbelievable stuff. But Becky Lynch comes out, it was great, big pop. She then won, last eliminating Charlotte, which was a good, smart decision. Really, really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. And God,
I'm gonna say I liked it. I liked that she won. But honestly, if you want to have like a super monumental moment here, this is just because I was watching this with some friends. This is the idea that I was having as this was going down. As you were saying that David Finlay was like, she was protesting to get in a match. I was saying, hey man, I wish David Finlay would have told her like no, or some authority figure would have been like no, and then she'd have been like, you know what? I'm gonna find a way to get in the Royal Rumble or not, and they don't have to be this Royal Rumble. So, and I'm just like, and it kind of is like teasing to what happened later, but this was like a different person.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. I get what you mean, 100%, man, 100%. All right, but decent Rumble.
Yes,
everyone got what they wanted. Long, an hour and 12 minutes, very long. 15 minutes longer than the men. Yeah, in fact, yeah, fucking. The tally was nearly in there as long as the men's Rumble, which is absolutely crazy. That's absolutely mental.
The tally won the men's Royal Rumble. That's hilarious.
Technically, yeah. Right. Then we had Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. Daniel Bryan retained. I was watching this again. I had one of my friends. There was a couple of us round, and one of the friends who was round, he comes training with me. So he does training with me, and we were there like, this is gonna be fucking great. And we tell you what, we watched and we were in awe. Again, some people may have thought this was slow. Some people may have thought it was boring. The fact that Bryan was working AJ's arm for the bell lock and AJ was working the leg for the calf crusher, there was so many spots in here that as a training wrestler I thought was fucking phenomenal. When AJ went for the springboard, and AJ, normally when they do it, they kick AJ's leg, so he swipes. Bryan kicked the arm of AJ, which he's been selling the whole fucking match. And then AJ, the fucking incredible wrestler he is, he don't get enough props. Instead of just doing another springboard like they do, you know, oh, you've been working my arm, but I could do a springboard. No, this fucking legend of a wrestler, one arm, uses the buckle, because obviously it's not generally possible to do a springboard with one arm. It just, if you do that, you're the most athletic human being in the world. It's just not going to happen. One arm, he uses the fucking second buckle to shoot himself off to then springboard. Like little things like that. We were like, oh, fuck, he is next level incredible. Yeah. Like, unbelievable stuff. And then Eric Rowan comes out and attacks AJ Styles, and Bryan gets the win. I lost it. 24 minutes of my life I invested in this great wrestling match where it was slow. They told a slow story, and the pace was picking up. And like, all right, 24 minutes in, and we're just about to pick the pace. Maybe this is going to go 40, 45 minutes. It's going to be one of the best matches, and potentially could top Ricochet and Gargano from the night before. We were literally there, like, that's literally what came out of our mouths about a minute, 2 minutes before Rowan came out. Like, look, this is going to be next level shit. Come on. And then they're picking up the pace. Eric Rowan comes out, attacks fucking AJ. Bryan gets the win with the ref bump. And it's like, this was meant to be the payoff for this 3-month feud between Bryan and AJ, and no one got anything out of it. Bryan didn't get more over. AJ didn't get more over. What was the point? To build up Eric Rowan? Fuck me, if I knew that, why couldn't they just give me a call? Jesus wept. Like, and again, I've said when I joined the channel that I'm not going to say anything negative about W too much, just in case it affects anything in the future, but I thought this was damn wrong. I thought it infuriated me more than anything I've felt watching wrestling in a very long time. I thought it was absolutely disgraceful. The fact you went 25 minutes just to end with an attack, a feud ender. Because what this is telling your fans is, we're going to build a feud for 3 months and we're not going to give you a finish. And do you know what else it tells you? Wrestling doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Because, you know what else it tells me, LK? It tells me that this storyline feud that they've had with Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles, not one time in this match could AJ Styles get put away, or could Daniel Bryan beat AJ Styles by fair means.
Yeah, so like, and then they can't have another match. This will be like a 5th title match in a row.
Yeah,
they can't do it. They can't do it, and they shouldn't. It just really bummed me out because it was a really great match until E got. It's like they were wrestling and AJ and Bryan had it. And then E were like, no, not so fast, my fellow friend. You slow the fuck down. This is what's going to happen. And I could just picture them just looking at each other going, oh. And don't be like, oh, you just hate Eric Rowan. It makes sense story-wise. Why couldn't you have just had Brian come out, say, look, he could pretend to turn babyface on SmackDown, say, look, AJ, we had a really great match last night. I beat you. Thank you so much. It was an honor. And then, the crowd clap. And then have Eric Rowan come out.
Exactly.
Bam! Attack AJ from behind. And Brian is there laughing as Brian and Eric Rowan start kicking the shit out of AJ. That's it. It's simple. Why couldn't they have done that?
It writes itself, but apparently it doesn't.
It just drives me up the fucking wall. This is why I don't watch on a week-to-week basis. I need to start again, but it's tough. And then Lesnar defeated Finn Balor. We always say on this channel that most YouTube channels don't admit when they're wrong. I'll openly put my hands up and say I was wrong about this match. I said I don't think aesthetically it could work with Brock and Finn Balor because there's a 100-pound weight difference and it wouldn't look believable. These two men went out there in 8 minutes and 40 seconds. By the 8-minute mark, I was on the edge of my seat thinking Finn Balor was going to win and pumped and excited that Finn Balor was going to win. They hooked me. They fucking hooked me. The simple thing of just Balor moving out of the way and Brock going rib first against a hard edge, selling the ribs, and Lesnar, he may charge fucking $1 million per appearance. He earned every fucking $1 million that he just made in 8 minutes and 30 seconds with the selling that man did. It was fucking unbelievable. The selling was amazing. The coup de grace from Balor, the near fall. And the thing is, I was coming on here saying, oh, the coup de grace, it'll tickle Brock. It's going to do more than fucking tickling him if his fucking ribs broken from breaking it on a metal fucking table. That's going to fucking kill. Like, that's genius. It's like the wrestling on this show is fucking phenomenal. The psychology on this show, from AJ to Brian to Lesnar Balor, was insane.
Dives too, man, that Balor did, because it was like he did the 3 dives.
Normally they're like this, waiting to catch. Brock didn't. Brock realized, look, dude, I'm 100 pounds bigger. I'm about fucking 60 inches wider than you. I can just lay there. And he literally just stood there and bumped. He always, every time, he just bumped. He made sure Balor got over him. And because Balor's so small and Lesnar's so big, it was easy for Balor to just land on Brock. It looked natural. It looked like, okay, he wanted to hurt him, not, I'm going to wait here to catch you.
Exactly. I was telling my buddies, I was like, he was telling Balor, hey, man, next time you do the dot, laying on my neck. It's just like, that's what he was doing. It's like this. He laid it straight on his head one time. I was like, damn, Brock was like, just tell him, laying on my head, bro. I don't care.
Yeah, for anyone says anything negative about Brock's match here, just don't know what they're talking about. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Phenomenal. It was a perfect length. They ended it at the perfect point where you were like, oh, it's so close, Balor. And then Brock, post-match, just beating the shit out of him, was, okay, cool. He's turning heel. He's, even though I don't know if he was heel or face, but heel, saw himself out. And that can keep Balor off television for a while, hopefully. Get himself time to recover. Saying that, it was probably a Raw last night.
Too. Like, the way he beat him with the Kimura lock, it was a move that he had in his arsenal, but people forgot about because he hadn't put people away with it in so long. So...
Yep, and it was the 1-2 kick out. It straight to the Kimura was just next level shit. Absolutely brilliant. Then with the Royal Rumble men's, again, I'm not gonna roll over every elimination or anything like that because you just don't have the time. We both have work. The start with Jeff Jarrett came out made me fucking pop so huge. That was absolutely brilliant. I saw Patrick's Twitter comment. I'm not going to repeat what he said, but it was absolutely phenomenal. Jarrett, I was so happy, and I said to my mates literally all there, like, that's so great for Jeff that he gets that closure. Getting to wrestle one last time in front of 50,000 people. That's great for Jeff. And hopefully he's at Mania. Hopefully he does something with Elias at Mania. Maybe, dude, we could get Jeff Jarrett and Elias going after fucking whoever the Raw Tag Champs are.
That'd be better than whoever they are. I don't know
whoever they are. Hopefully it's the Revival. Because then you get heels and faces. Where we got? Yeah, Nakamura, he got eliminated by Mustafa Ali. So again, Nakamura will presumably be defending against Ali. Kurt Angle got eliminated by Nakamura. That's not important. Not Nakamura. The important thing is Angle lasted 3 minutes in this match.
Yeah.
Angle lost to McIntyre. He lost early in the World Cup. He lost early at the Rumble. To me, the story and again, this is what they should do. Angle comes out. I don't think I can do this anymore. And he just says that I don't know what it is. I've lost it. I can't physically do this anymore. You have someone, I don't know who. I would say someone come out and say, look, and then Angle say, look, this is at WrestleMania. If I can't win, I'm done. I'm done. If I can't win, if I can't win wrestling matches, why bother being here? I'm losing 3 minutes in Royal Rumbles. I'm losing to McIntyre on Raws. Like, just do a retire match. Fuck it. Do McIntyre. Get the heel heat on McIntyre. Because McIntyre Angle was a great match. They worked together really well in Impact, so the chemistry's great. You can have McIntyre retire Angle, and this heel McIntyre, this piece of shit heel who retired everyone's hero Kurt Angle, can go after new champion Seth Rollins. 5 pay-per-views, or not for, literally W5 pay-per-views because they're one every 2 weeks. 5 pay-per-views sorted for Universal time matches.
That's a good plan. I like that. I mean, because I was saying to my buddy when Kurt Angle got in, I was like, dude, when he hit that German suplex, I was like, why was I expecting him to stay on the ground longer than the guy he German suplexed? like that's just like lay there for a little bit. Like, damn, this. I was like, Kurt Angle's held together by like athletic tape and that singlet he's wearing right now, running to the ring. So,
dude, I'm biased for Randy Orton. Everyone knows this. I want to see Kurt Angle versus Randy Orton in a retirement match. Not Randy Orton retire, but Kurt Angle retire. Johnny Gargano, he came out. I haven't popped like that in a while, and I'm not going to lie to you again. I've said this on literally three or four shows now. It takes a lot in wrestling to get me to use my Snapchat, my personal Snapchat, with all my friends list, like a list of all my friends, and I'd say 99.999% of them don't like wrestling. All right, so when I post something about wrestling, normally if I like post a Snapchat story, or people like pop up like, "What is this? Blah 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 blah. That's funny," or blah 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 blah. When I post wrestling ones, no one gives a shit. No one gives 2 shits. But I was like, I don't care, dude, and I put a picture up. My boy making his WWE debut in front of 50,000 people. And I tell you what, dude, he is my favorite wrestler in the world right now. Generally, the matches he's having, everything about him is just everything I want to be in a wrestler is Johnny Gargano. Absolutely.
WWE's best bout machine, man.
Yeah, he's the best bout machine. Mahal lasted 30 seconds. Good for you, buddy. Joe had a decent showing. Andrade Almas had a really good match. Pete Dunne came out, which was cool. Aleister Black came out. That was also cool. That was it for really surprise appearance. Dolph Ziggler came out.
I like the fact, though, I will say, I like the fact that because I know with these Royal Rumbles in the past, we were conditioned to think that, there's going to be some legends in here, or, some old, not old acts, because that's a bad thing to say, but, going to be some like legend or, some Hall of Famers in here. I like the fact that he went the other route and putting NXT wrestlers as opposed to putting the Hall of Famer guys in there.
Yes, that's a good shout, because we've already used everyone, really, in the past. There's no one really left. The Jarrett was a good surprise.
Yeah, Jarrett was good. It's like, well, I'm glad they didn't overuse. You know what I mean? Like, just overuse them like they have.
Because, like, again, to the wrestling fans, Pete Dunne and Aleister Black was a surprise. And that was a cool surprise. I was like,
Gargano, too.
Yeah, Gargano as well. Yeah, it was really good. And I guess
who they should have had in here? I don't know what he was doing, man. They should have probably had Adam Cole in here.
Yeah, but I think maybe because they used Adam Cole before, if that makes sense. Like they used him in last year's Rumble, they didn't want to overuse it. Is the only kind of thing.
I forgot he was in the last year's Rumble. I totally did.
So I don't know who the Raw Tag Team Champions are, but I know when fucking NXT wrestlers appear at last year's Rumble. That's just great, isn't it? Let me get up the live chat real quick. My phone's currently on charge in my living room, so I'm gonna have to wait till this loads up. But Seth Rollins did win. He went on to win the thing. It was a good match. It only went 57 minutes only. So the ending felt a bit rushed, but it felt like, look, dude, we've got a lot of time. They did the whole Benoit spot where Strowman pulled him over the top and then Rollins with the suplex to get him over and then hitting the super kick to get the win. That made me happy seeing the Benoit little tribute there, little nod to Benoit. Rollins Brock. Okay. Rollins Brock is what I'm assuming we're going with here.
Yeah. This is what I was alluding to, and this is we forgot about to even mention. Why was Nia Jax even in this match?
Oh, dude.
And
I
this is
think
what I
this is
was
a
talking about, LK, because this is what I was saying, because I would have had Finlay deny fucking Becky Lynch early, be like, no, you're not getting in this match. She's like, I'm gonna win a Royal Rumble anyway, no matter what. And I would have had this spot be Becky Lynch. And could you imagine the pop she would have got if she had won an actual men's Royal Rumble right now?
I think that would be too far.
You think so? Right
My
now,
opinion. I think that would be too far. Like I'm all up for equality. I have nothing against men and women wrestling. I think it would have been too far to have Becky Lynch win the men's Royal Rumble. I think then it makes it look like, oh, she don't really care about the women's one. It makes the women's one look less important. And you want to set up a WrestleMania main event, if you know what I mean.
well, the way that I would do it is because, like, since she was denied into the women's Royal Rumble, she'd be like, well, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble no matter what. And she's like, because I'm going to wrestle Ronda Rousey no matter what that's going to happen. So, yeah, I see your point too, but I still think you'd have got them in. You could still get to Brock and Seth through the Elimination Chamber and whatever the WWE Championship match is going to be. I mean, I just thought it'd been kind of, not really cool. And I see what you mean with the. I ain't even about the whole like equality thing. I wasn't even saying it off that too. I'm just saying, hey, she's the man right now, so let the man win the Royal Rumble. That'd been kind of sick.
I mean, that would have been. I just think that you just want to establish coming out because some people watch Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam. So now people who finish Rumble know, look, we're going to get Becky Lynch versus the champion. We're going to get Seth Rollins versus the champion. So I think from that aspect, it's decent because there's no point of trying to hook people to make people watch Monday Night Raw because there's no hook in the planet are going to make people watch Raw because they've just lost faith in it. Like, I had people round who just watched the Rumble, just watched Mania, and just watched SummerSlam. Like, Survivor Series at a push if it's a good-looking card. But,
Yeah, I see what you mean. That's good.
I'm fine with Seth Rollins winning, and I'm interested to see what they do. I may watch Raw tonight. I may have convinced myself to watch Raw tonight. No, I'm watching New Japan. I'm watching New Japan. I'm watching New Japan when I finish work. Definitely, 100%.
Yeah, Kushita's last match, man. Come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I've got. I think I've got some tissues down here. Yeah, I've got some tissues down there, so we're all sorted. That probably came across very wrong.
Tissues down here,
I promise I will not be masturbating over Kushida's final match. I'll be crying. Okay, emotional torture. It's like saying goodbye to a long time friend. Live comment time. Thankfully, it's ridiculously early American time, so we don't have too much live comments, so we can smash through these. Because I know Dion's got to go to work, and I know I start work in 34 minutes, and I'm currently sat here in a fucking cardigan and an IWGP t-shirt. That ain't going to go well. I need to get changed, shower, iron, and walk to work and clock in, which is going to be fun. But we'll be back tonight about 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. UK time, covering the New Japan show from this morning. So come back and watch that. We'll be live about 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. UK time. Andy Paps says, hey, what's up, guys? How you doing, Andy Paps? Andy Paps says, if it was the pay-per-view that wouldn't end. That's a I should have put that as the title. Andy Paps gives the show a tie. I think that's fair. I think that is generally fair. I think if, again, we based it on wrestling and booking, we gave wrestling a win and booking a tie. If you combined it, I'd probably say a strong tie week win if you can win. Yuri Blake says, the Duke of Doom, protector of the realm of real wrestling, the swearing soldier, the loudmouth king, LK. That's great. That's the swearing soldier. I like that one. The protector of the realm of real wrestling.
There you go.
Yuri Blake says, I watched from the cruiserweight to the end of the show. Pretty good pay-per-view. I give it a week win. Yeah, that's fair to say. If I think that when I look at the comments later on tonight when I finish work, I'll be expecting to see strong tie and weak win. Like from that if you said strong win, I wouldn't question it. If you said a loss, I think you'll be a bit. Even Dion is the most non-WWE guy that I know, minus Patrick, and even he gave the show a tie and a win. So
my tie actually played in because this wasn't in Cork and Hall. So
yeah, exactly. If it's not the K, it doesn't count. Like if this is in the Kurikan, it would have been a fucking perfect. It
absolutely. Come on,
morons. Judge Butt says, "Have a good. Thank you for a good show." Blah blah blah. What a party without a good brother. Sweet as a nun. So with that in mind, now I just offended a fucking whole race. I think it's time to wrap this bad boy at perfect time. Look at that, dude. We said we have 45 minutes. At 30 past, we both need to go. It's 28 past now. So feel free to promote anything you wish to promote.
You know where you can find me at SOS Wrestle Talk, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud here with LK on KocoSports as well. So catch daily pro wrestling extra matches. We have some new beginning matches in the pipe, so we'll be having those ready for you
Yeah,
soon.
dude. Yeah, definitely. I'll be uploading them on Thursday. I've got a day off Thursday, so
Okay.
Thursday I'm gonna download it and then make sure it's all uploaded. We just got to try. I'm just trying to catch up at the minute on everything that's
Oh,
going
you're
on.
good, man. You're good.
But if you're listening, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you like, drop a comment on your thoughts of this year's Royal Rumble. Overall, not too shabby of a show, so that's at least a positive we can take away from this. We'll be back later tonight with the New Japan Road to New Beginning show from this morning. Hopefully, we can get P and J to join us as well. So look forward to that. Look forward to everything because life is great. So with that in mind, like, comment, subscribe. I will be catching your asses down the line.